I am audible, right, Yatharth?
Yeah,
मेरी
yeah, you
आवाज
are
आ
audible.
रही है ना?
हाँ आ रही है.
Yeah. Shubham, can you please move to the next slide?
Yeah.
आवाज आ रही है ना हमारी बच्चों? Hello.
हाँ ये तो बता रही है आपको।
Yeah, so can you move to the next slide?
Just a second. I
हाँ.
think there is problem.
अगर इश्यू आ रहा है तो प्रेजेंट कर लेते हैं हम लोग.
Okay. So before we jump into about your interview tips and what are the things that you should prepare, I would like to talk about a little कि तुम्हारा काम as an analyst होगा क्या? So an analyst gathers, interprets, and uses complex data to develop actionable steps that will improve processes and optimize results. So, in simpler words, as an analyst, your work would be to derive useful insights from large amounts of data. So, abhi currently, what I'll tell you what exactly is my work. My manager comes, he says, ki, okay, we are looking forward to make these changes. I want you to tell me what would be the impact. And I have a large amounts of data. I have all the Excel sheets. Now, my work as an analyst intern would be to use different tools and derive useful insights from that data. And then मैं अपने manager को जाके बोलूँगी, okay, so I analyze my data, and based on this, I have ki, okay, if you make these changes, there'll be 15% increase, there'll be this decrease. So it is good to make this decision. So this is your work as an analyst intern. Yatharth, would you like to share your work?
Yes, so my work is also similar to this. Basically, I work on a data and I gather insights like Palak said. So basically, my work is model improvement. The current model which is giving a certain amount of error, I have to reduce that error basically. So by working on the data, getting some insights, I have to do it like that. So yeah, carry on, Palak.
Right. So why data science? Mostly because it is it has emerged out one of the most popular fields of 21st century, and that is actually very true. Um, so this gives you a big enough reason to why you should be preparing for this particular profile. Next slide, Shubham. Yatharth,
हाँ
can you
Palak,
please share?
हाँ I'm sharing. Can you stop sharing, Shubham? Yeah, I can share, I guess. Is it visible?
Just a second.
Hmm.
It is visible. Right. You can see some of the really good companies, good brand names here. Goldman Sachs, American Express, Gartner, Haven Bev, HSBC, all of them are very good companies. So you see that there's a lot of opportunity in analyst profile. Next slide. Yeah, Yatharth.
Yeah, so basically, this is the most important section of this presentation. So, कैसे prepare करना है basically. So, the skills that you would require to bag an intern in analytics are basically the ones I'm describing right now. The first is obviously coding. You have to do coding. Many companies, I guess most of the companies do a screening round. So basically coding आती है DSA. So basically you have to start coding right now. So for coding, you can start from interview bit or lead code. Interview bit में basically it has bucket wise questions. So it is good if you start from there. And if you get to a certain level, you can start doing content. You can start for contest and you can do contest on CodeChef and Code Forces. Um, some of the companies might also see a CodeChef rating and Code Forces rating, but it is mostly effective for SD roles, not so much for analytics, but it matters somewhat. Um, Also, in time, you'll reach dynamic programming, which is the most important part of DSA. And for that, you can refer to the Aditya Verma playlist. It is easily available on YouTube and it is quite popular, so you can find it easily. There are some links down below. इसमें थोड़ा basically uh, कुछ important questions type के हैं. so you can practice like a crash course or something. So the next is probability and statistics. You all might have done HSO, MSO. So that course content is important, and you should complete the 50 challenging problems in probability by Frederick Mosteller. The PDF की link नीचे हुई है, मतलब ये online मिल जाएगी, it is easily available. So the next thing is the aptitude and puzzles. Basically, in most interviews, the interviewers ask puzzles to you, and in screening notes also puzzles आती हैं. So you can prepare for puzzles in Brainsteller, Brangle. Interview पे भी there is a puzzle section. Geeks for Geeks पे भी aptitude है. You can practice CAT questions as well. So basically, these three things are the most important according to me, which you should definitely do before an interview or something. The other things like the basics of machine learning. There are courses on Coursera as well on YouTube. There is a course by Andrew Ng which is quite good. You can do that. Apart from that, SQL, Excel, MATLAB, you can acquire these skills after getting shortlisted. They are not that quite important, but people ask these things. So, do you want to add anything, Palak?
Just one thing that जो भी links हमने यहाँ पे mention करे हैं, all the things that we have written, वो कहीं ना कहीं हमने भी preparation के time पे use किया था. So I would advise you to go through all the links here, to go through the website, and then whatever suits you, you could do that. And keep, because time अभी थोड़ा सा कम बचा है, so keep first three things as your top priority, as Yatharth said. And then if you still have time, you could move on to the last two things, that is the extra skills and the machine learning.
So
But
basically,
do
machine
not
learning is very
completely
company
neglect them
specific.
as,
Huh.
yeah.
Basically, machine learning is very company specific. Like my company asked machine learning things, and I guess Palak's company didn't, right?
So during the test, there were three sections in the test, so one section was based on machine learning.
Okay, cool. So basically, you have to start building a resume if you haven't. It will take time. It will take multiple iterations to get a good resume. So you have to get it reviewed by multiple seniors, and you have to start today. You have very less time. The companies will start coming from August. So and yes, be confident and stay motivated. You have to be that. So, and also, as I said, you if you have less time, that's a fact, right? So you can focus on these three things only. So basically, you can find a study group, or you can find friends that are aiming for the same profile or same role. So you can study together. You can clarify your doubts with each other. और इससे थोड़ा motivation भी बना रहता है, मतलब और कह सकते हैं मजा भी आता है मतलब करने में थोड़ा. And you should talk to seniors जो मतलब currently are in the same profile or had get placed in the same company that you are aiming for. You can talk to me. We have help. You can talk to other seniors as well. So yeah. Hello.
Yeah. I would like to add something in the previous slide, Yatharth. Yeah. So hereby, I would want you to focus on one point, that is smart work is the key to success. So what we exactly mean by smart work is कि तुमने देखा कि हमने पिछले दो slides में we have mentioned about 6 to 7 things that you need to prepare. So what would be smart work? कि तुम एक timetable बना लो, या whenever you get up, you have a goal for the day. Ki, all right, I have to give 30 minutes to machine learning. I could give 2 hours to coding, or maybe I'll solve 5 to 10 puzzles every day. उससे क्या होगा कि you will see that वो load भी नहीं आएगा, and in 1 month तुम्हारी preparation हो भी जाएगी. Like just imagine 5 to 10 puzzles every day, and towards the end of July तुम्हारा वो particular section हो चुका है. Every day you give 30 minutes time reading to ML, वो वाली चीज़ हमारी prepared हो गई. So this is smart work कि थोड़ा सा अपने day को divide करो, decide how much time you want to give to each part of your preparation, and then do it. Secondly, resume बनाना start करो. By बनाना, it does not mean कि okay properly तुम latex पे जाके बना रहे हो. I'm not saying that, but at least prepare a doc. You could keep, okay, what are the points that I need to write in my resume. You will also be required to prepare a master resume. So start with that. Jot down all the points, write it somewhere in a doc, and then you could refine it. Yes, talk to as many seniors as you can. That will really help you a lot. Yeah. The next slide. Interview tips is don't panic, just stay confident, you prepared well. And yeah, again, I can't stress this point more, that prepare your resume very well. So now when I say prepare your resume, I mean that you should be able to defend each and every point that you're writing in your resume. If you're not confident about something, don't mention it in the resume. You should have a story about around every point that you mentioned. Oh, so this session is for Y20. Why is that a question? So research, yeah. So research the company well. Go through their website. Why are we saying this? Because the interviewers might expect you to have some knowledge. For example, in my interview, Amex, there were certain questions related to cards. So if you don't know that it's a credit card company, it's a financial service company, you might get stuck there. Ask questions when they ask you, and interviews will generally ask this. They will ask you, do you have any questions? And if you have some good questions to ask, that's a brownie point. Prepare some basic HR questions. So, what are HR questions? What is your goal? What are your weaknesses? What are your strengths? Why do you want to? Um, why why Amex, or why this company? Anything. This link has a list of those questions. You can prepare them beforehand. And yeah, again, make sure you talk to seniors who got shortlisted. So once you get shortlisted in a company, make sure that you talk to those seniors who are currently interning and ask them कि interview में क्या पूछा था. Talk to them. That will help you a lot. Anything you want to add, Yatharth?
Yeah, so basically, like Palak said, na ki you have to build a story around your projects or internship. Basically, your whole journey, why you are coming to this field. So एक अच्छी स्टोरी बना लेना कि फर्स्ट ईयर में तुमने क्या क्या किया, कुछ प्रोजेक्ट्स किए, तुम्हारा इंटरेस्ट डेवलप हुआ, तो उसके करस्पॉन्डिंग तुम्हें ये चीज में इंटरेस्ट आ गया, तो मतलब बेसिकली ये स्टोरी दिखती है तो सही लगता है इंटरव्यू में.
Right. And when we say resume well, तो you could think कि okay, मतलब इतना डिटेल में तो इंटरव्यू नहीं जाएंगे, तो मैं प्रोजेक्ट को इतना डिटेल में नहीं प्रिपेयर करता हूँ. But like in my interview, they asked me what are the variables that you used. They literally asked me. So I said, okay, there are three. I use three variables, and then I named all of them. And they asked me, what does this variable mean? So I had to tell that also. So they can go to large depth if they want to go. So prepare it really very well, and it would look really bad that okay, you have done the project and you're not able to defend it. Next, extra resources. Yeah, so this link has some sample resumes. I would want you to go through that link also. Some other extra resources, intern Gyan videos, you can go through that. That's a small playlist. Yeah, just go through once all these links. Next slide. Yeah, Yatharth.
हाँ. So basically, what I did was exactly this. मैंने start किया था interview bit से किया था, and I think I did only interview bit, completed around 50% of it. Then I started appearing for companies and got shortlisted in I guess 3 or 4 of them. But interview I only gave for AB and Web. So basically, in the interview it was a two-phase interview. Uh, Firstly, एक GD था. उसके बाद so basically, पहला एक GD था, मतलब basically GD was based on the company, what the company do basically. So company के बारे में knowledge होना is important. I visited the website, so basically थोड़ा बहुत knowledge था, तो मतलब GD went well, I guess. Then the second round was HR and basic resume based questions. Um, and basically HR क्वेश्चंस अच्छे से प्रिपेयर करके जाना, क्योंकि बेसिकली HR क्वेश्चंस में ही तुम्हारा कैरेक्टर, तुम्हारा जज होता है. बेसिकली तुम कैसे तुम्हारी पर्सनालिटी क्या है बेसिकली. तो बेसिकली जो कंपनीज देखती है वो HR राउंड्स में जज हो जाता है. तो मतलब HR क्वेश्चंस पे एम्फेसिस रखना, फोकस रखना. ठीक है, तो क्या बोला.
right? So I prepared both the tests. I prepared almost everything that we have mentioned in the slides, mostly theory. And so my test, it had three sections. First section was basic aptitude questions. Second section was machine learning questions, 10 to 15, and they were basic machine learning. Alright, so even if you know the theory, you would answer them. And the third section was case. Uh, don't get worried about this case. What is a case? Case is a business problem, and then you're supposed to ask various questions in order to identify the right problem. The objective of a case is that you ask minimum number of questions and the right questions to get to the answer. Alright. In my interview, there were two rounds. First round was heavily resume based, and a guesstimate. What is a guesstimate? A few Guesstimate is any general question. Guess the number of uh, washing machines being sold in 1 year, anything. Second round was it was again a case, and very logical questions were asked. For example, if Amex wants to launch a new credit card, what would be what would be your approach? If I give you the data and I have to launch a new product, how would you go about? Tell me the strategy. So these type of questions, and yeah, a few HR questions and a few things about my skills. Some of my other branch batchmates were also asked few puzzles directly from Brainsteader. So do practice that. So for cases and guesstimates, yeah. So these are some things that I did not prepare beforehand. After I got shortlisted in the Amex test, I talked to the seniors who were interning, and they told me to prepare guesstimates and cases as well. So you understand the importance of talking to seniors. अगर मैंने नहीं बात करी होती seniors से shortlist होने के बाद, तो मुझे पता ही नहीं होता कि case और guesstimate भी आते हैं, क्योंकि मैंने वो prepare नहीं किया था. तो अगर मैं बात नहीं करती तो मैं इंटरव्यू में there is a high possibility that I would have got stuck. Right. So I feel this is a differentiating factor. ये एक चीज हो सकती है. So keep this thing in mind. Next slide. Yeah, how to cope up with setbacks. Yeah. So इसमें जब माई टेस्ट स्टार्ट होंगे, काफ़ी सारे टेस्ट होंगे, तुम शॉर्टलिस्ट होगे नहीं होगे, एंड इन सम टेस्ट यू वुड गेट शॉर्टलिस्टेड, एंड इंटरव्यूज होंगे, इंटरव्यू के राउंड में तुम कट जाओगे. तो डोंट बी डीमोटिवेटेड. ऑलराइट, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल अप्लाई इन ऑल द कंपनीज. जितनी भी कंपनीज में तुम्हारा इंटरेस्ट है उन पर तो तुम सभी अप्लाई करो. डोंट बी वेरी चूजी कि मुझे नहीं अप्लाई करना, द स्टाइपेंड इज़ वेरी लेस, दिस इज़ वेरी लेस. आई वुड से डोंट बी चूजी इन द स्टार्ट. जितना अप्लाई कर सकते हो उतना करो. Also, before Amex, I got shortlisted in Uber ka test, and it was a pure software profile. I was not very confident in software, and still I got shortlisted. तो मैं काफ़ी ज़्यादा डरी हुई थी. In the first round of Uber, it was मतलब उसमें तो कैमरा भी ऑन नहीं करवाया था, and they straight away came, introduction 2 line, बोला कि screen share करो, and pure coding. They asked me a question. Okay, something about binary trees, and they asked me to code. First tell the logic and code, and I was so scared क्योंकि मेरा सॉफ्टवेयर ढंग से मैंने प्रिपेयर नहीं किया था. And I would like to tell you that I bombed that interview. I literally bombed that interview. I said कि I am not able to do the question. So he said, okay, wait, let me give you another question on arrays. So I hope you can imagine कि वो interview मेरा क्या जा रहा था. So उसके बाद बट ऐसा नहीं हुआ क्योंकि आई गॉट वेरी डीमोटिवेटेड, एंड देन मैं बाकी टेस्ट में ख़राब परफॉर्म कर रही हूँ. सो दिस इज़ व्हाट आई मीन कि ज़्यादा डीमोटिवेट नहीं होना है. जस्ट कीप डूइंग इट. एंड आई वॉज कॉन्फिडेंट अबाउट एनालिस्ट. आई नो कि ये मेरा स्ट्रॉन्ग पॉइंट है, तो उस पर आई वॉज कॉन्फिडेंट, एंड दैट्स व्हाई आई गॉट थ्रू इट. दैट इज़ वॉट. ऑल्सो तुम्हारे दोस्तों की भी इंटर्न साथ साथ में लग रही होगी. फेसबुक और इंस्टा पूरा स्पैम हो जाएगा तुम्हारा, तो उससे भी बिल्कुल डीमोटिवेटेड नहीं होना है. जस्ट नो कि अगर तुमने प्रिपरेशन करी है, यू विल गेट वॉट एवर यू हैव प्रिपेयर्ड, उसके अकॉर्डिंगली तुम्हें तुम्हारा मिल जाएगा. दैट इज़ व्हाट आई वांट टू से. योर थॉट्स, एनीथिंग?
I think you said a lot of things. चले. I guess कुछ
Yeah.
questions वगैरह हो तो
Yeah.
पूछ लो एक बार. चैट पे डाल सकते हो, नहीं तो अनम्यूट कर लो ज़्यादा सही रहेगा। क्वेश्चन ही नहीं है।
क्वेश्चंस नहीं है मतलब तुम प्रिपेयर नहीं कर रहे, या तो हमारा सेशन बहुत ही अच्छा गया है, तो मैं सेकंड वाला मानती हूँ। So we'll wait for like another 5 minutes to see if there are any questions. If they are not, we can close the session.
As I said, right, it is really company dependent. मतलब कुछ companies require ML as a basic skill that you require for the internship, but some companies don't take it that seriously. But हाँ, आ जाना चाहिए तुमको in time. CPI cut off. मतलब you were saying?
So CPI cutoff 8 plus is always safe. Otherwise 7.5 plus. Um, yeah, that should be. Regarding the ML requirement question, I would suggest that it would be good if you could at least have some idea. अगर मतलब not necessarily तुमने कोई project ही कर रखा हो, but at least थोड़ी theory भी पढ़ के जाओगे तो it should be good.
Yeah, the Andrew NG course, it is very good. उसमें I guess it is 6 week of lectures, but you can finish it in like 3 or 4 days. So it if you do that,
Even the first week.
if you do that,
If
it
you
is
just want an
good for
overview.
interviews.
Yeah.
Siddharth, can you please put the link in the chat box?
The PPT link.
नहीं वो lectures का.
You can share the PPT with them, I guess.
Lectures जो अभी आपने बोला.
अरे you can find them on Coursera. I will include it in the PPT. PPT में डाल दूंगा link.
Okay.
Any other questions? उसके अलावा one thing I wanted to talk about. Basically, interview bit पे most of you will, I guess, do interview bit because it is more. I mean, it is bucketed, right? तो थोड़ा interesting हो जाता है. तो बेसिकली उसमें देयर इज अ पॉइंट सिस्टम, ठीक है? मतलब तुम जब करोगे तो तुम्हें मतलब पता चल जाएगा पॉइंट सिस्टम होता है कुछ, तो उसमें हर क्वेश्चन करने में तुम्हें पॉइंट्स मिलते हैं बेसिकली, ठीक है? तो if you do a question you get points, but if you access the hints or view the solution so you don't get any points. तो अपना मेन फोकस ये रखना कि तुम्हारा मेन एम पॉइंट्स कलेक्ट करना नहीं है, तुम्हारा मेन एम क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करना है. तो डोंट हेजिटेट इन यूजिंग द हिंट्स और यूजिंग द सॉल्यूशंस. अगर कोई क्वेश्चन सॉल्व नहीं हो रहा है, देख लो सॉल्यूशन. पॉइंट्स नहीं चाहिए तुम्हें, ठीक है? ये दिस थिंग आई डिड फॉर लाइक 1 month कि मैं आई वाज गोइंग फॉर द पॉइंट्स की आया पॉइंट्स कम हो जाएंगे, अच्छा नहीं रहेगा मुझको. लेकिन ये इससे बहुत सारे क्वेश्चंस वर लैगिंग, मतलब बहुत सारे क्वेश्चंस अनसॉल्व भी रह गए थे. तो ये चीज मत करना, ये चीज मत करना, ठीक है?
Regarding the next question, can we get resume of both of yours or DM me कर लूँ? We will share the resume.
Is there any difference in the difficulty of coding round, like when we compare an SDE role and a data science or analyst role?
हाँ, थोड़ा डिफरेंस रहता है, आई गेस. इट इज नॉट दैट हार्ड कोडिंग और ऐसा कुछ. मतलब बेसिकली क्वेश्चन थोड़े इजी रहते हैं.
And any topics which we must focus on, like which are more important or are asked more frequently?
DP is always asked. Dynamic programming is always asked. trees, I guess, are also important.
Okay, thank you.
Right. Like you could prepare the first मिडसेम से पहले वाला ESC 101 मिडसेम के पहले वाले टॉपिक्स वो तो काफ़ी अच्छे से प्रिपेयर कर ही लेना एंड फ्यू लाइक ओके DP so software profile में you know you are also supposed to be good with graphs and um, or a few
Hmm.
trees and queues and stacks उतना इन डेप्थ में उतने डिफिकल्ट क्वेश्चंस नहीं आते हैं एनालिस्ट में बट या यू शुड बी डिसेंट
Okay, sure.
मतलब व्हाट आई हैव सीन कि मोस्टली डीपी क्वेश्चंस तो आते ही हैं, जब जितने मतलब इंटरव्यू राउंड देखे हैं। इसके अलावा हाँ, तुम सबने ESC 101 किया हुआ है ना?
Hmm.
हाँ, सो बेसिकली ESC 101 वी डू इन सी, राइट? तो आई सजेस्ट कि सब लोग C++ पे स्विच कर जाओ। इट इज वेरी हैंडी। द एचटीएल लाइब्रेरी बहुत काम आएगी तुम्हारे। सी में मत करना कोडिंग बेसिकली, ठीक है? C++ पे स्विच कर जाओ। गीक्स और गीक्स पे जाना, वहाँ पे मतलब एचटीएल लाइब्रेरी का देख लेना क्या सिंटैक्स रहता है, जो भी रहता है। इट इज वेरी हैंडी देन सी। तो ये सजेशन है क्या? ठीक है।
राइट ये तो लाइक कर ही लेना
ये तो मतलब सी में तो मत ही करना स्टार्ट में कोडिंग, ठीक है? और
आवर
सेल्फ
सेल्फ
प्रोजेक्ट्स,
प्रोजेक्ट्स इम्पोर्टेंट
I guess if you don't have any projects, then you can add self projects. मतलब it is better than nothing. तुम्हें टीए तो नहीं ऐड करना पड़ेगा अपना।
सो बाय इम्पोर्टेंट वी डोंट मीन कि तुम्हारा रेज्यूमे में ऑलरेडी बाकी चीज़ें हैं एंड देन यू आर स्टिल डूइंग अ सेल्फ प्रोजेक्ट नहीं इफ़ यू हैव नथिंग देन या यू कैन ऑलवेज add a self project that would be nice but yeah not very important
Can you do all things in Python? हाँ मतलब you need Python for ML, so it is good if you know Python, but mostly DSA is done in C++, I guess.
and I don't know if I did not encounter this but I did hear कि there are companies जो कि मतलब C++ prefer करती हैं like companies options देती हैं कि तुम किन किन languages में code कर सकते हो so I hope that C++ is more widely used so that's why we are suggesting that you go practice C++
Hmm. But Python is a good skill. मतलब you should learn Python.
yeah it's definitely a good skill to have so
Any
we'll
more
wait for
questions?
one another minute
Yeah.
yeah if you have any questions please type them all right then. I think no more questions. We can end the session here. Thanks everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you everyone for coming, and thanks a lot
Thank you.
to Anak and Yatharth for sharing your experience. It was indeed a pleasure.
Thanks.
No problem.